2 series. This is Learn to Communicate Successfully via Social Media. When you think of business communication, you probably think of dialogues with business associates, PowerPoint presentations, and documents you write, such as reports, emails, and proposals. But today, there are many new ways to communicate, both in and about your work world. There are blogs, mini-blogs, wikis, and networking sites. Facebook, Twitter, LinkedIn, MySpace, Plaxo, YouTube, and Wikipedia are just a few. They all can help you advance your business goals. But like all tools, you need to know how to use them well. Poorly posted information or inappropriate usage of social media can damage your credibility and your business. This Learn To will give you useful tips on how to avoid common problems when using social media. But let's start by remembering the basics of good communication, which hold true no matter what medium you use. The key success factors for using social media are not all that different from success factors for any communication method. Those basics include recognizing and focusing on your audience, organizing your information so that your ideas are clear, using vocal, verbal, and visual cues to create the tone you want, and reviewing your message before you send or say anything. Now, let's apply these basics to communicating via social media. We'll start with focusing on your audience. First, ask yourself who will be viewing your posting or video. Are you on a closed site for which people need permission to access your information? Or are you posting on an open public site such as YouTube? If you have a captive audience, for example through an internal company blog, you already have a shared language. You can use product terms, acronyms, and industry phrases comfortably, knowing your readers or viewers will understand you. You wouldn't post the same way to Facebook, especially if you have a massive number of friends who wouldn't understand your terminology. What about the interests of your viewers? Why will they be viewing or reading your posts? Is it because of their interest in you personally, or their need for the information you provide? What topics are important to them? And what level of detail is required? Too much information and the audience may click away quickly. Too little, and they could leave unsatisfied. Misreading your audience can kill your blog, or worse, cause people to post negative reactions. And of course, the larger your audience, the greater the potential impact, good or bad, of what you post. Next, think about how to organize your information for social networking sites. Here are some tips. Always make sure there's a logical order to your thoughts. Perhaps it's the big picture first, then details. Or past history, followed by what's going on now. Or comparing and contrasting one idea to another. The most important part of a plan is that you have one. Without a logical pattern to your information, it will be hard for others to follow your thoughts. Connect your ideas clearly. Don't jump from one to the next without an obvious transition. And be concise. Don't ramble unless you're using social media strictly to entertain, as opposed to furthering a business goal or building business relationships. Going off topic on a business-related posting dilutes your message and undermines your credibility. The next thing to consider is how you want others to feel about you and your information. As with any form of communication, tone impacts how your message is received. So think about an appropriate tone for each message. If your posts feel too formal, you'll be perceived as stuffy. Be clear and don't use big words just to impress. That could make you sound pompous. On the other hand, if you're too informal, you might be perceived as flippant, as if you don't care about the topic or the audience. Even the name you go by online or the name of your blog will have an impact on the tone of your interactions. think about the business impact a name can have. Do you really want your work associates to think of you as Whiskey Joe or Bubbles? In business, you're better off staying close to your real name and avoiding cutesy handles. And watch your sense of humor. A good chuckle is a great thing, but jokes that poke fun at individuals or groups can create more enemies than friends. And the final tip, don't hit send, submit, or upload before you review one last time. Stop and think before you post anything, no matter how innocuous it may seem to you. Consider potential unintended consequences. Remember that with every post you're going on the record. What you put up on social media sites today could be out there forever. In other words, always review your information looking for errors, both in facts and in judgment. Some of those little mistakes can have a big impact on your business. Social media are fantastic channels for communicating. When used with the same skill and attention you give to all your communications, they'll provide great results for you and your business. Thanks for using Communispon's Learn to Communicate Successfully via Social Media. For more information about Communispon's products and services, check our website at www.communispond.com.